Hush, Mikey. All right.
And we are live. And Mikey is on his way back.
Mikey, did you just get some E and J?
Are you?
Okay.
Hold on.
That intro was dope.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Then it was awesome until Eddie's face popped up. I was like, God damn it.
Oh, damn.
You know, haters gonna hate.
You know what's funny?
I'm gonna screenshot that and make that my new like little Twitter thing, because there's like my logo, my social media, and then me like talking shit about something. But it looked
You were
depressing.
talking shit.
I was wondering why all the video clips were like the lowest resolution possible.
You know what? Why you just got hold on. We are more than 2 minutes in, right?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, why you just got Jena like that, yo? It's like,
getting
like,
shady.
no,
Getting
next
shady
thing you
in here
know,
already.
I work
next thing you got
hours.
And I was gonna say, of all the images that you could have used of me, why that one?
Oh,
You know what? I was trying to be nice and not pull images from the ACA because obviously better resolution ACA footage. I do have 1080p here, but you know, hey, your girl was working late. I was trying to do something. Fuck all of you.
I think
Okay,
it looks
whatever.
great.
I left my ass out.
You do not have to validate yourself. I thought your intro was absolutely stunning.
It was great.
Amen.
It was
Thank you,
dope.
Cynthia.
Hey, real quick, where the fuck is he at? Where's Bar? Where the fuck he at?
I want to hug Bar too. I
sent-
want to hug you too because
I
I feel
sent
like
him
you like my
you know
cousin.
what? I think, Bar and Blatheus, they're just, busy making their new mixtape. They too famous for us. So he busy. He busy.
Did you just say Blamus? They're too blameless.
Blatheus.
Blatheus. No, I know that you said Blatheus, but I thought that you said
Blamus.
Blamus instead of famous.
Oh.
I don't know.
Hey, Bar,
Her
since
words,
you're
not
out
mine.
there,
She's unintentionally witty.
Bar, since you're out there, I already told everybody quit gassing you up. Quit gassing you up, boy.
Don't be hating on my Memphis boy.
Darn
That's
shots
the problem.
fired.
That's the problem. Y'all Memphis people think you can actually rap. That's the problem.
We should put the intro out there just by itself as a.
That's it. You can't drop a visual mixtape. That's cheating.
Yeah, hey, you put all of them out there. Yeah.
So,
Ain't even no raps. It's just visual.
So we have this.
I want it. That's it.
So we have a little rap group that went platinum twice. What you got out of Fort Wayne? That's what I thought.
Oof. Big oof.
Anyways, around the table here, Mikey Famine,
Chicago's
Cynthia
very
McDonald, the GOAT, Jason, Sherwood, TechLord, Eddie, Brute Facts, Ozzy Oz, Tang Gang, and of course, the lovely Justin. What's up, folks? Part 2. What's going on?
Straight up forget Cynthia.
And Jena Mew, the lovely, intelligent, fantastic Jena Mew.
To credit myself,
you love her. She's short.
to credit myself from last time, I only added myself because somebody up here was sick. And, I don't know a lick of shit about hip hop. So I had, Mikey and Justin school me. So now that I have enough people, I can dip out for a cool minute and let y'all discuss. Because my setup is whack right now. Everything falls off. I can't even display my pretty mic. Shit went crazy. So, Justin,
Jena.
with the origins of hip hop, please.
And then we'll correct you.
I was say I don't know the whole story.
You know the whole story.
No, Oz got his hand up.
Yeah, I just wanted to hit like 2, maybe 3 things from the last episode. I went back and watched it 2 or 3 times just to make sure
Oh shit! Oh
Here we
shit!
go.
that I wasn't missing.
Fact check. We got a fact
So
check.
first of all, this is for all the ladies because they done fucked up.
Yes.
And they were talking about the women of hip hop. They done fucked up. How
Sleep.
in their God's motherfucking name nobody said fucking Lauryn Hill when women came up? Are you out of your goddamn minds? How you?
I got you better. I'm going to take your Lauryn Hill
I don't know
and
if I can be in
raise
this group
you
anymore.
Wait. I'm going to take your Lauryn Hill, Ozzy, and raise you a Roxanne Shante.
Okay, well, see, I'm not as familiar, but
Well,
So,
I mean, because like, here's the thing, like, if we really start talking about origins of hip hop, we got to really go to like the pioneers that really like laid the foundation to what we know today. And unfortunately, Roxanne Shante does not get enough credit for being the first known female hip hop rapper that that actually put out like songs, even though like it was like in the early 80s, but she put that out, and she actually set precedent for female rappers to be able to to hang with the guys. And I mean, like, now she's like a PhD and like all this other stuff, but sis still can flow, even though like she's like knocking on 60, but she can still flow.
Your Honor, I have an objection.
Hold
on.
To Oz's point, I have an objection. Don't come at us for Lauryn Hill, because is she a rapper or is she a singer? Because she's a singer to me. I don't think of Lauryn Hill when I think of rappers, because her voice, her singing voice, overrides all that.
So if you can also sing, then you're not a rapper? That's bullshit.
Ooh.
So you're saying Usher's a rapper? No, he's a singer.
No,
he tries to rap every once in a while, but he sings so much better. So you can.
I would argue that Lauryn Hill is a better rapper than she was a singer.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
Like, I would say she does both, incredibly well, but yeah, one edges out the other.
But the fact that y'all brought up Salt and Pepper and TLC and didn't bring up Lauryn Hill, get the fuck out of here.
Come on, Salt and Pepper, man.
I ain't bringing up TLC. Thank you very much.
This is the original.
Probably me.
That one wasn't me. Thank you very much.
Jenna, what the hell did you invite me to?
The last one was just a overall
I don't know. I'm sorry.
hip-hop.
You better get ratchet real quick.
Overall hip-hop episode wasn't about origins last time. At least that's what I took from it.
No.
The fact that I did not one time hear the likes of Tupac, Biggie, Wu-Tang, so on and so forth, keep going on.
I'm pretty sure we did.
No, I listened to it 3 times, Mikey.
Oh, he knows the facts.
Because Biggie can't rap.
I was verifying.
Biggie, who said Biggie can't rap? That's sacrilege. How dare you blaspheme against the B.I.G.?
That just shows he doesn't know hip hop. What the fuck?
It's that Northeast flavor.
No, I think
that's an acquired flavor.
I think those two, Biggie and Pac, and then Nas and some of the other ones, is such a given that it's easy to not talk about them, but expect everyone to know about it. I mean, because we could talk all day about just a handful of people.
We can talk about 1 year of Pac for 15 hours.
And Justin and Mikey, I agree. But then we have Eddie that just said Biggie can't rap. So obviously we need to talk about it because some people just aren't educated.
I will tell you this though. He isn't everyone's flavor. He's not quite E40. Where I'm just like, man, I recognize your E40. I recognize your skill. I got you. I recognize your OG. well, God damn, your ass is motherfucking annoying. I'm like, stop talking like that. Man.
I did mention Biggie because I mentioned in the Midwest at the time when the East Coast West Coast was going on and Biggie was popular, we didn't have anything in the Midwest, and we were getting hype off of Biggie mentioning Detroit one time in one song. That was like all we had going for us.
I'm just giving Oz. I'm just giving Oz hell. Biggie was a good rapper.
But we didn't like spend time talking about him or anything.
If we're gonna get into semantics, yes, his name was mentioned one time, but his artistry, his ability was not talked about.
Yeah. I mean, like we gotta give Biggie his props. I mean, like, one of the things that Biggie was able to do, and he did it very well, whether if you want to give him, his shine or not, is that he was able to pull from a lot of different influences in his life to actually create his style. Biggie was, his mom is from Jamaica, and he used to go back to Jamaica every year during the summer and spend time in the dance halls with his uncle, who was also what he used to do, what they call chatter or chata on the mic. And that was just basically them just talking random shit over different reggae records that was mostly heavily bass driven. And then he also spent time with another musician in New York who was a jazz musician and teacher who Biggie studied under, especially percussion. So he would take different riffs that he learned from his uncle, riffs that he learned from percussion rhythms, and he used that to be able to create a lyrical flow that was not as big at the time, that was used in New York. And another thing that was so special about this cat is that he would blow about everybody that he did a cipher with out the water, because he was so witty, with his lyrics. So I can't, even though I know there's this whole thing now that Jamaicans claim that they created hip hop. You didn't. However, I will say that you still got to give props to where props is due. And Biggie was that dude. I mean, y'all can't take it away from me. Even though he was black and ugly as ever. However, I stayed coochie down to the side. Okay, let me stop. Anyway,
she said black and ugly. So
that's what he said.
I'll jump in. Hold on. Break. Okay, yes. Oz, are you calling out Bar?
Any day of the week.
That's all I want to say. All right, continue.
No, we'll make it happen.
I was going to say, actually, Jamaica, they pretty much are responsible for the beginnings of hip hop. If you go back to if you go back to Grandmaster Flash, and you go back to the oldest, it was the Jamaican style of it's toasting, I think it's called, is where these DJs with the Grand Wizard, and then Grand Wizard, I can't remember his last name, and Grandmaster Flash, it was back in the 70s. They are the ones who took the Jamaican influence and created the kind of rhythm that they had and started putting the style of rap towards it.
We have to disagree, because that's not entirely true. See, and this is from a person who is from the lineage of Jamaica. So we can say that hip hop, the beginnings of it, yes, came from in the 70s, that started with the DJ. Now, I know that a lot of people like to, credit DJ Kool Herc for helping to really put it on the map and things of that nature. But one of the things that is not talked about enough is that Kool Herc and other DJs that, you know, that were in, you know, the Bronx Bedford Stock projects that ended up influencing other hip hop artists that's out of Brooklyn and then Harlem. They were spinning records, you know, disco records and other funk records that were like James Brown, even like some gospel records, and then putting them against the beat. Now, and then they would find like breaks in order for them to, you know, to repeat over and over again so that they can go ahead and get, you know, to get that style, right? Now, if there was, now to say, like I said, to say that, like, you know, Jamaicans had nothing to do with it, obviously you had rappers like Pete Rock that are like of Jamaican lineage. You had Buster, who was of Jamaican lineage, and like I said, Biggie, who really brought a lot to the game. But you know, they still were mad influenced by, you know, Black American, African American records that was being spun in those parties from yesteryear before, you know, rappers could even get on the mic to flow over them.
Yeah, I don't disagree. That's true with the DJ style from the clubs, and they kind of married this the style of the rap style as far as the lyrics and how they presented it. But you're absolutely correct. It was the because they, you know, everybody wanted to be a DJ,
Right.
before they even, you know, added the lyrics to it. So it was about DJing and who the best DJ was and who had the best mixes. And yeah, it was so I agree with you there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was at that point. Yeah, because Cynthia brought up Kool Herc, and he was really the pioneer of the DJ technique around the world. You know, and taking, you know, all these different, you know, funk. He even dabbled in blues. These, you know, these different genres, to where his job as the DJ and the MC, you know, at that point was to get the party hype, get the crowd hype. Then we started to, you know, see the rapper MC, you know, start to come in, and you know, we fast forward years later, that's where Biggie's experience there, you know, to bring it back to that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I have like mad respect for Biggs, because his versatility, to be able to rhyme on just about any beat that you put in front of him is really like rare, because you could put anything in front of him, he's going to spit on it. Where there's a lot of people that it's like, okay, I need, you know, this particular style, or I need this many beats per minute, you know, that kind of thing. But whether it was a Jamaican beat, a hardcore gangster beat, an R&B beat, it didn't matter. Biggie would fuck the shit up.
Yeah, talking about the MCs, I mean, fast forward a little bit and shoot over to the West Coast. MC Ren, that's how he got famous, you know, at least in Southern LA. It wasn't because of his rap skills. He was a club MC that was super famous locally. So yeah, the whole MC scene that's one that I think a lot of modern day people who aren't familiar with older hip hop they missed out on the whole you know, MC part of it, which was, to me, just like in anybody else that was a hip hop fan being my age. I mean, there was one point I think all of us wanted to spin records. It just you know, it was the cool thing back then.
I got my turntables in front of me right now. Like, I'm still a little kid.
One thing I want to bring up, I'm going to wait till Cynthia comes back to talk about it, though, is the effect that like Rudy Ray Moore and people that were making like these talk rhyming records over a beat. It's not, some people like call him some pioneer of hip hop, and it wasn't necessarily hip hop, but it definitely had an influence on it. What do you think of Rudy Ray Moore, Cynthia, and Dolomite?
Oh, Dolomite.
Yeah.
Dolomite.
So
yes.
I brought that up because you mentioned Biggie going to Jamaica, and I don't know what you called it, but it's like talking, like basically like trash talking or poetry, or just kind of like
Dozens
off the head over a beat.
Yeah, they would call that back in that time period snapping.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, they would call that snapping. And yeah, Rudy Ray Moore, he was one of the best ones that did it. Like, you know, there's just certain things that that kind of define, you know, Black American experience. And, you know, some things could get your Black card taken away. Like if you haven't watched at least one Dolomite movie in your life, at least one.
And officially keep mine now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Very good.
That was I grew up in the hood, so it was, I mean, Dolomite was if you didn't know something about Dolomite, you're kicked out of the clique. You just couldn't you couldn't be part of it. It was kind of like a little bit longer and kind of different genre, you know, if you didn't know who Curtis Mayfield was, you know, and there was, you know, certain people that you had to have a beat on, you know, if you wanted to be part of it. So
let me just say that you guys will not gatekeep my Blackness based upon your fucking ridiculously old movies. Okay, I didn't watch an 88-year-old movie when I was a child. You kiss my ass.
And
I was born in 87. Okay,
me too.
Fucking Disney was popping. And my mom wasn't telling me my mother did not want me watching Dolomite in the age in the years span that you wanted me to watch.
You're missing out, bro. You're missing out.
Watch it now, but you can't just be like, no.
Wait, Mikey, I didn't actually watch Dolomite until like, you know, I was like way older because my mom didn't like me watch Dolomite either. Because it was,
I'm gonna sneak a Dolomite VHS in from the playground.
No, that's your ass right there.
Oh Lord. Okay. Hold on one second.
They borrow your baseball glove. I'm gonna beat your ass for that.
Andrew has been asking some important questions.
Yes, let's highlight them.
She asked this Blondie one like twice. I don't know.
Oh, Blondie's Rapture. Okay, so Blondie's Rapture was like the first, what you would see like the first like female pop star who happened to be of the Caucasian persuasion to, you know, enter into like the rap world. Now, I forgot exactly who, because like her bars was I think they were written by Fab Five Freddy, if I'm not mistaken.
That's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Yeah, I think that's who actually wrote her bars. Let's go with that as I Google.
Fair enough.
Yes.
Another question: how did scratching records to make music get started?
Yeah. But I know that like because like she mentions him like in her like rap part where she says, Fab Five Freddy told me everybody's fly, DJ spinning. I said my flash is fast, flash is cool. Francois say flash ain't no dude, you know. And like that was like the first time that you actually like, you know, heard that, you know, type of marrying of pop and hip hop in that particular way. And it was kind of cool, even though like they feel like oh, her voice is so airy, which is like na, 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 na. But I mean, but you gotta admit that beat behind it was like, okay, all right, Blondie, I see you. But she definitely got influences like, you know, from, you know, the cats that was really like, you know, making it like pop at that particular time period.
He ghost wrote the shit out of that. He's like, go ahead and send that check through, honey. I got your verse right now.
I know, that's right.
Don't you worry about it.
Right,
Following question.
Hip hop flip flops. Here you go, baby.
On the scratching, that was, I actually love this story. So that was the one and only Grandmaster Flash.
Mm-hmm.
And it was by accident, like his mama was calling for him. It was like, hey, down here and do the dishes or get the, you know, and he would stop the record and it'd be the air, you know, and he was like, oh shit.
He's like, that's dope right there.
Oh shit.
As Bob Ross would say, happy little accidents.
Yeah.
While we're talking about the 70s films, I mean, have you at least seen Shaft, Mikey?
Not all the way through.
No, the original Shafts.
This is not a hip hop movie. You are badgering the witness.
But it's very relevant.
Objection.
It's a bad
Stop trying
Shut your mouth.
Stop trying to get
All
the car.
men for philosophy.
Objection.
Stop trying to get the Carfax on me. Like,
Right.
Bill, don't worry about what I watch and don't watch.
You just mad because I'm black.
Well, I mean, but actually talking about
See,
black
there it is.
exploitation
There it
films
is.
and hip hop is very appropriate. It really is. I mean, because like all those particular caricatures,
Be your own
even like
people, Jenna.
even the soundtracks that were produced, like, you know, from Isaac Hayes, from Curtis Mayfield and the like. I mean, like one of the best black exploitation soundtracks was from the Mac.
They call it blaxploitation.
Yeah, they used to call it black exploitation film or black exploitation films. You know, and that's like, you know, those are like I would say like they really made like, you know, what they call hood stars, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And especially like when you had like that urban look and a lot of those images and, you know, musical ideas traversed into hip hop, along with the really big like kung fu flicks in the 70s. Like that was like huge, and that really even influenced like the Wu-Tang Clan. That's where they got their name from, because they used to, you know, watch like, you know, the Shaolin, you know, chambers of whatever, I forgot exactly.
Shaolin monks.
Well,
yeah, Shaolin monks and
real quick,
five chambers of fear and all that other stuff, like all that, even like the way that they dressed and all of that really like influenced like their dress, their style, how they presented themselves, because that was huge, especially in that time period. So it's important.
Dan just put the comment you put up here about Dan, the Grand Wizard Theodore. That's who I was talking about earlier. I couldn't remember who the rest of the Grand Wizard was. I would be
the first one to stick my hand up and say yes, it was Wizard Theodore, but he was a understudy or protege of Grandmaster Flex, so that's where I got it fucked up. So
Mikey, you had your hand up.
I'm glad we brought up Wu-Tang Clan. Can we all agree that RZA is not to touch the soundtrack of anything for the rest of his life, because he's been putting out hot ass garbage for the last 15 years?
Oh, shut
that is subjective.
This is the guy that his favorite artist is Lupe Fiasco. Lupe.
I have a story about Lupe. I have a story about Lupe.
What Lupe done did?
I actually met Lupe and didn't even know who he was.
That sounds about right.
Wow.
Well,
that's most of us.
This was when I was working at the Chicago Tribune, and he was in the lobby, and he was standing in the lobby with the security person, and they were talking, and then I kind of like got in because I asked the security person something, and then him and I both walked to the elevators, and he spoke to me, and I was like, hey, how you doing? Well, I'm nice to everybody. And I'm like, and I kept on staring at him at the corner of my eye because he looked familiar, but I just couldn't figure out who he was. And then when I came back down and I talked to the security guard, they was like, oh, did you get a chance to talk to Lupe? I said, Lupe Fiasco? She said, yeah, that's who you were standing next to, and he spoke to you. I was like,
girl, he was trying to ask you out, and you were like,
see,
boy, bye.
Been kicked,
bye.
Pushing it to the.
But to Mikey's credit, Lupe is from Chicago, so I mean he's got to take care of his home folks. And guess who else is from Chicago? Common.
Yes, Common. Common grew up in my area.
I got a photo with Common. I met him in an airport in Jackson, Mississippi, and
then M destroyed him.
Who destroyed him?
Well, that's because he went on to be I think he's a better actor than rapper. I mean, I like his rap, but it's he's more of a poet. He's more of a poet.
Same with I would say Will Smith. He's way better actor than rapper.
Oh, come on now.
Way better actor than rapper.
We used to kill some Will Smith in the summer.
Hey, Jenna,
come on.
Jenna,
summertime
in the chat. I need to know, somebody like pull a goddamn ID or birth certificate or something
this one?
on Bar, Because this motherfucker says he's from every city.
No. Whoa.
He's from
Hold on,
Chicago.
Oz. Let me take. Wait a minute. Hold up.
New York. God.
Let me defend. Let me defend Bar real quick, okay? When you most people that live in Memphis has family or they are from Chicago, St. Louis, or New Orleans. There's a massive connection between the cities on the river there. And a lot of people I grew up with were either from Chicago, St. Louis, or New Orleans, or had family in there. So I don't doubt one bit that
all of a sudden I feel like Eddie is a bar apologist. That's
I understand Bar. It's
How many cities are you from, Eddie?
Okay, exactly.
Right.
That's why apparently
to
Bar
Eddie's...
and Mikey and Blatheus are like cousins or
So
something.
I have a theory.
I have a theory
too. Because at first I wanted to accuse them of like swagger jacking like a motherfucker, like black dude, atheist, glasses, kind of my shit before both of y'all. I kind of got here before all of y'all. And y'all just came up, got way bigger, more popular than me off of my shit. But I'm gonna let it start today. We're not gonna talk about that.
So your image.
Yeah, my whole IP has been besmirched.
He's from New York.
I live in New York.
So
Mike.
here's
He said he lived in New York.
So here's the crazy thing. Blatheist is from St. Louis. Bar's family, I'm from St. Louis. Bar's family is from Chicago. I'm living in Chicago. What's his face used to live in Memphis. Like it's this weird Bermuda Triangle between the three of us that all three of us have been in all three cities.
I'm going to put myself in that your triangle and create a square.
And you also black and wear glasses.
Mikey,
I am black and I wear glasses. And my family, my paternal side is from Memphis. Okay. And a lot of them lived in Chicago, and then some of them moved back to Memphis. Matter of fact, all y'all Memphis people, vote for my cousin Jennifer Richardson. She's rerunning for judge, so vote for her.
If I was still in Memphis, I would.
Okay, well, Bar you in there, vote for her. So
there's one last piece of the puzzle to make the perfect pentagram, and that's Christian J. Watkins, who's up in Milwaukee, which is where I am, is where all the rest of my family is.
Mikey, if you're in their triangle.
The world revolves around me is what I'm saying.
If you're in their triangle, how come they didn't invite you on the track?
I
have to address
Justin. That was some heavy shit.
I gotta address Bar, because Bar said I need to look at the comments. I've been talking to you. I said, Bar, I see you. You should have been on the stream, bruh. I thought you was gonna be here.
I passed him the link. I told him.
And since we're all atheists and skeptics here, and yes, Eddie, that includes you. I do have to just point out that you are from originally the city that your mother gave birth to you. And now you can say that we moved when I was young and I grew up in this place. And if that's where you want to say you're from, I can even get down with that. But Bar, just because you've stepped foot into 20 different cities doesn't mean that you're from 20 different cities. Just like if I go sit on an airplane, it doesn't make me a goddamn pilot. That's not
Oz. Your white privilege is showing.
Yeah.
He may have lived 2 years in Chicago, 2 years in St. Louis, 2 years in New York, 2 years in Memphis. So he's kind of from all of them.
The privilege of being from one place.
No, you visited or lived there. You're not from.
Yeah, I'm with you. I was born and raised in Memphis. I live outside of Fayetteville, Arkansas now. So it's
leave Bar alone.
I feel you with the being from 5 different places.
I want to move the conversation because Farron Salas, I think that's how you say their name, asked a really good question. Farron Salas, how many prominent rappers are out that's non-believers, atheists, and if so, who? And
I know one.
Yes, please.
I know it.
Hobson.
Graydon Square.
Hobson. I was gonna say Hobson's dope, man.
Graydon
That's
Square.
Hobson is
Nope.
wishy-washy. I think he's out now, but he goes back and forth.
no,
Yeah.
he's an open atheist.
Who'd you say?
He
John?
did a
Graydon
collab with
Square.
NF, but he's still open atheist, and his stuff is fire.
Mm.
Who is it? Creighton?
No,
No,
Graydon.
I put Jena up on Graydon Square a couple months ago, but
Graydon.
he's been
I
out
like
for a
I like
long
Hobson
time.
because of the emotion. I
Well-
mean, I'm drawn to those, emotional. I can kind of feel the pain, the anger, and that's why even as a theist, I love the hell out of Hobson.
no,
But-
Hobson.
What are you gonna say, Justin? Hold on.
No, I was just saying
Yeah.
that Graydon Square. I didn't know about him until a few months ago, but he's done like the atheist and skeptic circuit. He's talked at conventions. He's been on TV. He gets invited on podcasts, gets flying over, and he's like a really good rapper.
Graydon
And-
Square. I'm not
And
familiar
he
with.
talks about science and metaphysics and philosophy and all kinds of stuff. What you wouldn't expect from a rapper. It really merges science and philosophy and rap really well, and he's still active, and he does like live streams and has his own community and all kinds of stuff. I've never heard of him, and I'm kind of surprised, but you can tell that there's pockets of these communities that are just kind of secluded and do their own thing.
Is
You
it
know,
possible that he only?
You know who
has
turned me on to
297?
Hobson Oz?
Hmm.
Just Jeff.
Oh yeah, I know Jeff Lexi, but see, to me, if we're going to take hip hop and then try to attach atheism to it, I still have to go to the artistry first. Not your lack of belief in a god. Hobson reminds me of Tim McDonald, which I think is annoying as fuck.
Tom McDonald.
Or Tom. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
He's garbage.
Tom McDonald. Yeah. Tom
but-
McDonald's gone so far off on this kick of being the outcast that he's embraced anti-vax and all this shit. And
Oh
Mhm.
wow,
yeah,
that's
he's-
unfortunate.
the atheist hip hop artist that nobody's talked about yet is Childish Gambino.
Down on
I
Glover.
didn't know he was.
Yeah.
Me either.
He was
I'm
raised.
not, I'm not surprised.
He was raised Jehovah's
Yeah.
Witness,
Mhm.
and now is pretty. Not I wouldn't say like an extremely outspoken person, but he has no problem if somebody asks about it. Just discussing his lack of belief.
I actually
isn't he
found-
considered more of a
Agnostic?
producer?
No, he does everything.
No.
Well, I know. Yeah, he's got some good raps, but he's
He produced.
he's produced some
Actor,
shows
producer,
and-
Yeah,
rapper,
acts,
everything.
produce,
Comedian.
yeah.
Yeah,
Sings.
Comedy. He does everything.
Yeah,
he's
he does
uber,
everything.
Uber talented.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's what Tyler Perry wish he could be.
That.
Oh,
Damn.
Tyler Perry is like
Shots
he's like
fired
the
against
king of-
Medea.
yeah, he's like the king of dad joke. I mean,
Mhm.
his comedy is it's an acquired taste, but it's like just corny, but at the point of being funny corny.
You got to remember where he got his start from. His start was, kind of like, doing these plays, like those gospel plays
Right.
and stuff like that, and playing to that particular audience. And then it kind of just like, went from there.
How dare you be?
Hey,
How dare
I used to love Medea too when I was a believer. I ain't gonna lie. And then
Yep.
I
hated it when I was a believer. That shit.
I grew up.
I'm a believer and I ain't a big fan of it.
Yeah. After a
think
while, I had to realize, nah. Oh, but I did find an article on the Ranker that actually named 6 rappers that you didn't know was atheists.
Oh, okay. Let's do it.
One guy was Earl Sweatshirt.
I've heard of him. He's with
okay.
Odd Future.
Odd Future. Yeah.
Yeah, Odd Future.
I thought you were gonna say Alu Akbar.
Tyler, the creator, and that crew.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, the next person is Angel
Dudes who got
Hayes.
really weird raps and they be seeing it and their fucking beats are crazy. Fucking
Oh,
yeah,
bunch of-
exactly.
Oh,
bunch of
wow.
weirdos, man.
Oh well, one of those weirdos is an atheist.
Exactly.
We're weirdos. I'll admit it. The next
We're
one
all
was
weirdos. It's the normal
Ain-
people you got to look out for.
that's what I'm saying. I keep telling people that
You're
but they don't
weirdo
believe-
adjacent as well.
weirdo adjacent.
Accept it.
I got another person named Angel Hayes. It said that Angel Hayes' anger towards religion has caused many to believe that she is an atheist. I guess she came out like in 2013. Justin, she's from your part of the neck of the woods.
No,
Right.
I don't accept her.
Oh, you don't accept her? Okay, cool.
What is her name?
Angel Hayes. She's no true rapper, no true Scotsman rapper.
Yeah.
No true
Detroiter.
I don't even know. I don't know where. You got to like send me that link or something.
Okay, I will. I'll send it to you. Of course, the next one was Donald Glover. They mentioned. Then your other guy, Graydon Square. Now I need to check him out. And then this other cat named MC Lynx. Not too far from my age. He's an atheist rapper who advocates for social justice through his music. And then this other cat named Baba Brinkman.
Yeah, he did a song with Graydon. I listened to it earlier actually. He's okay. He's okay. He's not great.
So I'm not gonna like bust you out on age or nothing, but at my age, if they say MC, then I know they're from my time.
You saying that's a dead giveaway?
We had not yet.
You said my age.
We had not yet.
You've been around the block. You've been around a while.
The era of Lil, where everybody
era
was
what?
The Lil.
The Lil, oh yeah, you're from the era of Lil. Everybody was Lil this, Lil that. That's when
that is so
I call that the dark age of hip hop.
What?
Now, Oz brings up a good point that I've been wanting to bring up is party rap, because I think a lot of dudes are party rappers and they're only going to be party rappers, and they're perfectly cool with being that person, but then some people in my conscious hip hop, my wordsmith kind of hip hop that I like to listen to, like, that shit's all trash. And I think there's room for both. Do y'all think there's room for both? Like Snoop and Lil Jon, and like they're not super lyrical dudes.
That might be the only time Snoop and Lil Jon is ever put together on the same list.
Mikey, check this out. So
the track together though.
So Mikey, this is what I've noticed. Okay. You have mainstream artists and you have real artists.
Oof.
And the difference is no, hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, let me finish.
Shots fired.
The difference is it's kind of like watching mainstream films versus real artist films.
I'm gonna put
you
killed Jena.
I'm gonna put
you don't hear about the true artists in the mainstream. You hear a lot of mainstream artists who aren't true artists, and then you have the rarities that are both.
I don't like your epistemology right now.
Let me push back real quick, because one thing that I will never ever suffer in a hip hop discussion is when someone starts bringing up the popularity of something else, because we all know that the good shit doesn't get the spit.
It goes deeper than that. Hold on.
The good stuff never gets as much credit as it's supposed to anyway. So we don't even have to worry about mainstream or popularity. We're just talking about the music as the five of us interpret it. We ain't got to worry about the charts, because the charts.
Right. No. Hold on. You got to understand what I'm talking about. Okay. There are certain beats, and there's only literally like 2 handfuls of beats that almost it's a scientific thing. It's what the populace are drawn to. It's just like in other areas of music. You go to blues music and you have
right now.
You go to blues music. Hold on, I'll give you a perfect example. You go to blues music and there's 4 major chords for blues music, and almost all mainstream blues plays those 4 major chords and incorporate them. The people who are really talented and have complexity to it are the ones that most of the mainstream people will credit, kind of like Nas. If Nas had beats like a lot of the mainstream rappers, Nas would have been hands down throughout one of the greatest hip hop artists of all time. He just didn't have that person to put the beats together with his music. And the thing,
You're
and that's what I'm saying
discounting.
is when an artist knows an artist, I'm not saying I'm an artist, but an artist knows an artist, and they're almost never the mainstream people. There's a certain thing. That's why you hear about, that's why rappers always go after the mainstream as sellouts, because they change their music.
You're calling Lil
to
Jon a
become
sellout
mainstream.
now? What?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Eddie, you're causing Oz to break his neck.
That came from the
Oz is a musician. He knows exactly what I'm talking about with popular chords and popular beats. There's like literally handfuls of certain beat patterns, just like there's certain chords in country music and rock music and blues music. There's like handful of chords that are used. And when you get these real complex kind of beats and things, they're the ones who are writing their own music and doing it, and they don't hardly ever make it big because it's not a there's certain patterns that we're drawn to. I mean, I can give you scientific articles on this. It is a science. And that's why you hear people talking about selling out to mainstream or commercializing or things like that, because I'm not saying they're not artists, but they have to compromise a little bit of the complexity in what they're doing in order to make it through the mainstream level.
Okay. All right. I feel there are a lot of rebuttals.
No, not one. That was
I don't have one. I'm just observing. So I'll Oz, you look like you can't.
You look like you're having an aneurysm.
Yeah.
You really did.
My brain's about to pop out of my head.
Yeah, go ahead. Say what you gotta say.
I know what Eddie was saying. I want to chime in. But
I was going to attempt to steel man Eddie's argument, but Oz, go ahead first.
Oz first, then Justin, and then we'll
Oz got a
that.
sledgehammer for that steel man.
I'm gonna put y'all close.
So first of all, if we're talking about music composition, just the music, yes, there are common or go-to chord progressions that will generate or bring about a certain emotion or feeling or whatever. Like that's fact. That is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we're getting to the underground versus popular, or whatever terms we want to use there,
that wasn't the original thing. The original thing was like conscious versus party. That's it.
Right.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't even say underground. Just real quick, I wouldn't even say underground versus mainstream. Unappreciated would be probably the term that I use.
Because it still applies. So conscious versus party, right? The reason conscious hip hop does not sell the way quote unquote party hip hop sells isn't because of the chord progressions, or whether they're using minor or major chords. And
it's an augmented seventh. That'll never make it in the charts.
It comes down to the MC. And Nas is one of the greatest MCs ever, because he finally figured it out about halfway through his career that I can spit bars on my verses. But when it comes to the hook, and it's called a hook for a reason, when it comes to the hook, I better be able to hook the listener. And he figured that out. And I will agree that he didn't have the best producers. He didn't have the most banging beats. He didn't have that, but he finally understood, and he'll probably never admit it, but I think he heard Jay-Z, where it's like, there's plenty of songs that Jay-Z didn't say a goddamn thing 2 or 3 verses in a row, right? On certain cuts on the album, but the hook was nasty, nasty, and Nas noticed that. So it's not a matter of it just being conscious rap. Now, to drill down my home on conscious rap and why, I can't stand listening to it personally, because whether it's music and lyrics or a religious argument or a business argument, or conversation, whatever it is, complexity is the enemy of execution.
Mm.
And when you are overcomplicating things, people get bored. People get bored and they stop listening. So that's why, like, for me, like, are they full of like knowledge and can bend words and rhyming patterns and do all that, you know? So your Common and Talib and, you know, all this, where they can just mix and like all that stuff. Yes, it's fantastic to listen to if you really appreciate the art, but you have to be almost a purist, you know, a hip hop purist to sit down and enjoy it and vibe to it. But for the masses don't give a fuck about that. They want something that they can listen to. It's simple, and that the hook is fucking banging. And whether the chord progression is driven with major chords or minor chords, it's irrelevant as long as the hook hooks them in. Like, well, that's what it is in hip hop.
Yeah, and you made a good point. I didn't want to go as far as to say making it simple, because it seemed to be doing injustice. But you're making the exact point that I was talking about. I mean, you're a purist. You know, those are the ones who are, you know, going to recognize these kind of talents that the mainstream doesn't get, because the complexity, you know, as well as I do. I'm not a music maker, but I've loved music my whole life, and the complexity of it is, you know, it's super hard work to, you know, put all of that together in a way that's even listenable, much less mainstream, you know, listenable. But it's kind of like you hear actors who credit other actors that the populace has no idea who they are, you know, and you hear musicians credit other musicians and the populace has no idea who they are. And that was my point, was, you know, your super talented artists are the ones you really don't hear about, but there are the rare super talented that are mainstream, and those are the ones that make it super big, which would be,
I'll say this example too, and maybe we're agreeing more than I realize, but then I'll let the others jump in. Like a great example of somebody that thanks to, I don't know if it's him or Timbaland, but thanks to Timbaland, has made millions and millions of dollars, and that would be Bubba Sparks, because the dude is a garbage ass rapper. He's fucking terrible. He should never have a microphone put in front of him ever in goddamn life. But Timbaland makes him nasty ass beats and gives him nasty ass hooks. And guess what? Yeah. He sells record after record after record, and it's nothing.
I agree.
It's nothing.
Bubba Sparks. I'm sorry. Who?
I wanted to respond to Eddie, what you were mentioning earlier about the same beats and same yada yada, and producers kind of know what will sell beforehand. And one example of basically you can engineer a hit is Black Eyed Peas, how they went from conscious rap, kind of underground, not so popular, to signing Fergie and turning around and just pumping out like 10 #1 hits in a row. And they didn't have to, it wasn't a chance. Like, they were engineering these hits and they knew they would work, because like you're saying, there's only so many things and people are drawn to it. You know, that's why pop music is the same song over and over again, but it's popular. So I just want to say I know what you're talking about in that case. And for Timbaland, what I was thinking of is that he doesn't have like a lot of like conscious type songs, but if you look at DJ Premier, who was one of Nas's producers, and he's produced like what you would consider conscious or underground, or what a hip hop head would consider like classics. But Timbaland has like 4 times as much money and bigger hits than he does, even though Premier is probably more well respected within the hip, you know, the rap game itself.
And Justin, thinking about that, and I'm sorry, because on that
go ahead.
with Timbaland, is like, some people may hate it, the purists may hate this, but then when you look at the business side, as far as I'm doing this to make money and make a lot of fucking money, he took think about this. He's taken one beat. So he took Missy Elliott with "Get Your Freak On," right?
Mr. Misdemeanor
sold millions of records. Then he took that beat and gave it to Bubba Sparks for Ugly, and it sold millions of records. And then now I forget the artist's name, but just this year, that same goddamn beat that came out like 15 years ago for Missy Elliott, he just produced another song for a third artist with the same goddamn beat. Like the purists hate it, but dude is making millions and millions and millions of dollars off one goddamn beat.
But we all got to admit, one of the greatest lines ever in a rap song is, "Who's got the keys to the Jeep?"
Sim Sima.
Oh, you went Beanie Man, Justin. That's why I love you. That's why I love you, Justin. He was straight Beanie Man. Sim Sima. Who got the keys?
I think Cynthia wanted to respond.
That was Missy did that in I Can't Stay in the Rain.
Yeah, that's back in No Limit. That's No Limit. All the New Orleans Master P and
that's what she was with Timberland. Timberland produced that beat.
Yeah,
okay, so and I want to go back to Timberland, and then I want to kind of touch on what Eddie said about underground versus mainstream.
Not underground.
Well, purist, conscious versus party.
Because I say that because 3-6 has some garbage underground. It's got like a cult following, and then they went mainstream, and they were actually better mainstream than they were underground.
Not underground again.
Well, I still feel that "Whoop That Trick" is a classic that everyone should hop.
Or tear the club up.
Of course.
When are we gonna watch that movie on the show just so we can get it taken down?
Oh, Jesus. Speaking of which, Michael.
Let Cynthia finish.
Yes.
No clips this time.
Okay, so going back to Timberland, like
Justin told me to play it.
Hold on. So like going back to Timberland, like remember like he was getting his start when like he was discovered by Devontae from Jodeci. Okay.
Oh my God, Jodeci. No, you
didn't.
I didn't even know
I
that.
did. Oh yes, I am showing my age, and I'm okay with that.
Hey, I love some Jodeci.
Oh man, if you all let's see, let me tell you something, y'all babies that was born in the 90s.
Me?
More than likely, y'all was born off of a Jodeci record. I'm about to tell you that right now. Either that or Silk. One of the two. You was born off of that.
More than likely.
Fiendin' was playing in the background, and next thing you know, your mom and dad is like, "Hey," there's like, "Hey," and then and coitus.
I was born off Amazing.
Hey, let me tell you, it wasn't nothing like Jodeci, Casey, and JoJo. Come on now, that was some smooth.
Yeah, some R.
Forever
Kelly.
My Lady. Come on now, Forever My Lady. It's like a dream to me. Okay, that's my jam. Anyway, I'm going back. That's my time. Oh yes, Keith Sweat. Yes, Farron. Yes,
Keith Sweat. Yes.
Begging ass. But boy, I tell you,
I hate to say, I forgot about Keith Sweat, man.
Oh my goodness, I'll be like, yo,
he was huge in the 90s.
Yes, he was.
Y'all forgot about LL. Is who y'all forgot about?
Oh my goodness, ladies love a cool J. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
But okay. So Timberland. Let me go to Timberland, discovered by Jodeci's Devontae Stone, who also got Missy on board, because remember Missy was with a girl group. She used to sing, yes, and she was part of that girl group. But
I didn't know she sang.
Yeah, you didn't know she sang. Wait, what?
Missy?
You know she sang?
Can I have your fake black card now? Give me your fake black card.
I'll give it to you. I'll give it up.
Again, who the fuck invited Eddie?
Paid up.
I didn't know she
technically this all happened because Eddie put in the chat that he was going to an NF concert, and Justin got all excited and was like, "I want to talk about hip hop."
So,
like, okay.
a cracker went to another cracker's hip concert.
Got it.
Oz's words, not mine.
Don't hate.
Oh yes,
I hope
yeah.
nobody forgot about Dre.
Ain't nobody. We can't forget about California. We can't forget about California.
We just ain't get there yet. That's episode
we just
3.
we haven't gotten
Just
there
let
yet.
Cynthia
Because I
finish.
was still
Come
going
on.
about about Timberland. Yeah, so Timberland was discovered, and it was because of his producing prowess. Now, when they got away from Devontae Stone and they started, and then him and Missy got together and did their own thing. They got together because remember, if y'all remember Aaliyah, she got away from Aura, Aura.
Praise God.
Yes, Aura, and needed another producer.
Robert Kelly.
Yes, Aura. Mm-hmm. And
Golden Shower.
Aura Kellis, who has been convicted.
Okay.
Everybody in it that's from Chicago around that time period knew what he was doing. I knew what he was doing.
Y'all ain't do nothing about it. Y'all ain't do nothing. Y'all ain't do nothing.
But I was screaming. I was like, "Why is this dude?"
I believe I can fly.
That was
Not
the
anymore.
problem. He made really good songs.
Yeah,
but anyway, go back.
Hey,
So
Cynthia, when you're done, I do want to ask a question. When you're done, I do want to ask a question.
I got you.
Chicago or whatever. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So when they got away from Devontae Stone, they decided to go ahead and launch out on doing their own thing, and then they hooked up with Aaliyah. And then they produced her record with One in a Million, which was one of her best albums, like when she broke out away from Aura. And all those was like Timberland beats, like all of them, right? Now after that came out and people knew who they were and stuff like that, that's when you had like that whole Virginia connection with Missy, Timberland, and Magoo. I don't know if y'all remember Magoo, who he had a real, and Genuine, because he produced Genuine too.
And
who else am I missing?
Genuine was that next the thing, the generational switch for that sex idol. He was
he was
nasty.
And I know that I was in college when he first came out. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, who's this?
Ooh.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
I was like,
You know what? I was in the closet doing the same thing. I was like, damn.
What?
Damn.
Eddie, you were in the closet?
You was in the closet? Was you in the closet?
Yeah, because I ran around with a bunch of gangbangers and gangster rap and all that. I couldn't like Genuine, but I did like Genuine.
You weren't allowed to.
You weren't allowed to.
I couldn't ever admit it.
Okay, gotcha.
Fake ass Christian.
Atheist adjacent.
I do want to say I want to see another hip hop show with just Cynthia and Oz. I mean, the freaking knowledge you two have on the history is just it's phenomenal. I want to hear you two just kind of
I know that like Oz and I are not too far in age. Not too far in age. So like both of us like really grew up like in the inception and saw all the iterations of hip hop through time. So I mean, like I would say that hip hop is the genre that I really grew up on, like for real. Yeah. Like I saw the part. I remember, even though I was like a shorty when Rapper's Delight came out. And as credited as the first recorded rap song, right?
Yeah, I remember all about that.
Yeah, but even they lifted their lyrics, but ain't nobody gonna talk about
I want to mention
sampling has always been huge in hip hop. But they do it in an artistic style. It's not like they're just.
I'm not talking about the sampling. The beat.
Well, I mean, like,
sampling. We know that was wasn't that? I think that they did. That was Chic.
There's no original bars. I mean, it's people do. They have good wordplay, but when you listen to enough hip hop, it's like you just take bars.
Eddie, I'm telling you, like, a couple of them dudes lifted their bars word from other people that was like, that was around at that time. It wasn't just like, it's not like how, like, say for instance, like I'll be like, quote, blah, 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 but I give you credit for what you wrote, right? This wasn't the case. Like they was like passing off word for word the other bars they lifted from, you know, other MCs that was around in that area, but that was not theirs. That's what I'm saying.
Man, Eddie's like there's no original songs, there's no original lyrics.
Right. There's no true Scotsman in hip hop.
Every song is the same.
It's all underground conscious ass bullshit.
No. You know what I'm talking about. I mean, what I mean is, even when they put their bars together today, you know, it's bars from here, bars from there, and we're just putting our own bars. It's like rarely do you get.
I got to stop you. Like, how the hell do you know that? How the hell do you know that?
He's listened to
all
every
the
song
years
ever
of
made.
listening to freaking hip hop. I mean, come on, man.
Okay, well, I just started yesterday, so I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Okay, hold on, because I need to take some control. Y'all wilding out. It's fun. Mikey, what you got to say?
Back to the Virginia, Maryland area rappers. Y'all forgot about Pharrell.
Yes.
Y'all
a lot of people.
Pharrell, my bad, yo.
Y'all forgot about Mos Def and Lauryn Hill and Bad Brains and all of them that recorded in that
Mos
same
Def was
studio
the shit.
and did all that shit, and all of that was paid for by Dave Chappelle.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, I knew that.
You don't get
Okay.
to say shit about Lauryn Hill. You don't get to say shit.
Yeah, y'all left her out last
You
time.
didn't
Shame
bring up
on
none
you.
of them people. Y'all just let the shit pass. Like we're gonna leave Pharrell out of this.
Completely shea buttered Lauryn Hill out of it in the first conversation.
When are we going to move on to like
you know
Mobb
what?
Deep?
How about this?
I mean,
we'll give Lauryn Hill an opportunity to defend herself. Oh wait, she never fucking shows up for a goddamn concert.
She's
that's
been
not true.
touring. She's been
That's not
touring
true.
on the miseducation of Lauryn Hill for like 30 years.
She's still on show number 3 or 4 at this point.
But
okay,
but like two. Okay, yes, so
everybody up. So Lauren.
Okay, so here's the thing with Lauryn Hill.
Lauren
I'm not going to when it comes to like her commitment as far as like an art to showing up to concerts. I mean, yeah, that's trash.
How you got concert tickets and collections?
Wow. Wow.
Okay, wait. Okay. Obviously,
y'all made me mad about her all over again. I'm like, yo, I was about to go to that show.
You know, Mikey
got triggered.
He did.
I forgot that you did that to us.
Did I see Mikey snap his finger? Like,
obviously, Justin, we need to have a part 3 if you concur, sir.
Yeah, what happened to Lauryn Hill?
Yeah,
what happened to Lauryn Hill?
We need to talk about true pioneers like Too Short.
Yeah,
that's not a true pioneer. Are you?
No, I would love to talk about Too Short, but here's the thing: I want to talk about the people who your mama wouldn't let you listen to. Too Short was one of them.
That's a 2 Live Crew.
2 Live Crew was another one. Sir Mix-a-Lot. Yes, you couldn't.
Sir Mix-a-Lot. Too Short.
No, but it was there was this other cat. He only had one album. It was a dirty album, but it was the best album for like came out from the West Coast ever.
Just today or yesterday, as I was prepping for this, I know I'd forgot about the album, and now I can't remember the guy's name.
You mean when you first started listening to
How about AMC?
Yeah, yesterday.
Do you remember Oz? Do you remember AMC?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
Do y'all yourself a favor and Google AMC.
Yeah,
he only had one album. He only had one album, but that album was fire. And you bet not. No, I'm sorry, not AMC, AMG. If you bring AMG, yes, Dan knows.
Ed was over here like, AMC.
Dan knows. I'm not AMC.
Well,
yeah.
I knew it.
If you brought AMG's album in the house,
I knew it didn't sound absolutely right, but I'm agreeing with her because I knew who she was talking about.
Yeah, I had to correct myself. I'm sorry, AMG. Yeah, but if you brought AMG's album into the house and your mama caught you listening to AMG,
Slap
that
the
was
taste out
your
of your mouth.
ass.
Slap the
Like,
taste
Oh,
out of
hey,
your mouth.
when my mom walked in, I was listening to so first of all, they made a huge Two Live Crew, they were like banned everywhere.
yes,
They
they
couldn't
were.
do concerts or
Band in
anything.
the USA. I
Yeah,
was.
and
Mhm.
I don't know how big he got. What about are you guys familiar with DJ Jimmy?
No.
Mm-mm.
Oh, he took Two Live
He was
Crew,
from
Too
Memphis.
Short, and the others, and like went a whole nother level with it. It was I literally got grounded when my mom walked in and heard what I was listening to. It was like Two Live Crew on steroids. It was about, I mean, it was raunchy, but I mean, it was.
Early juvenile would get my ass in trouble. That shit was not appropriate.
You will only listen to Ja Rule in this house.
Well, I didn't know there was a porn subgenre of rap.
Yes.
There was and there was another
DJ
album.
Jimmy. Look up DJ Jimmy. I'm
We
telling
look
you.
up DJ Jimmy,
Porn
and
rap.
there was another Snoop's
rap.
first album, Doggy Style.
Oh yeah.
First off was fire, and I
It's a
could
classic
not.
still.
I could only listen to that album when my mama was at work. I could not listen to it when she was at home, because if she heard, you know, ooh wee. But it was this one song where he was just saying motherfucker throughout the whole thing, and it was the best song ever. You
So I think after
motherfucker in
now
your
that-
hands in the air.
It's like,
I mean, now that we're almost completely out of time, no one even responded to, is it okay for there to be party rap and conscious rap?
Yes.
Yes.
It turned into this entire
Yes.
thing.
Yes.
The short answer is yes.
Sure.
I thought you
Because
were
hip hop rap started as party rap. It started as party.
that's why they have
Settle down.
mixtapes.
Settle
I
down.
mean, I really just need on my way to work, like I'll listen to some Lupe, but then when I'm coming home and it's the weekend, oh, it's time to turn up. I need me some Lil Jon. I need.
Oh, hold up. That last comment, NWA needs a whole episode by itself.
NWA does need a whole episode by
that was
themselves. My favorite one out of all of NWA was the DOC.
I like the DOC.
My bad.
Yeah,
But
DOC
it's still
was
the
my guy.
classic fuck the police. I mean, that just
Okay, I
that
don't feel bad now.
No, they hurt you good, man.
It's Christian
You're fine.
approved.
It's
It's
okay.
it is
Christian
absolutely Christian
It-
approved.
We'll
It
we'll
was,
have this video taken down for another reason next week. Anyway,
Hey, can I ask a more end on a more serious note, a little more serious question?
final thoughts.
Yes.
All right. So obviously there's been now 2 Netflix documentaries about the damage that Ara has caused in way too many young women's lives and their families, and and then who knows in his family how much damage he's caused. And
Not enough. They
I'll
defended
go on the record and say it's all fucking disgusting, and he deserves everything that the law has to give him. Point blank. Now, as consumers, and we'll talk about here in America, he's convicted, he goes to prison, and he's done.
Yeah.
Does that mean we do or do not continue to enjoy all of the music? And he was a very talented man.
That is a good fucking question.
Yeah, now you got to
I hear
pirate
it
it.
all the time.
You got to pirate it.
Music that was released and put out there, whether you owned it, or you would like to own it if you heard it or whatever. Where do we fall now? Because we know he was a disgusting human being.
Yeah.
Throw it out.
Do we throw it out?
Well,
What do we do?
Yeah,
That's-
given Cynthia's comments, I'm gonna say she's close to the same age I am, and R. Kelly was a huge part of the influence, at least in culture and things like that. I was devastated when I heard the accusations against R. Kelly, because he was one of the few kind of hood approved singers that you could openly say, yeah, man, that dude's got it. I like his stuff.
He was called the R&B thug.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
And I, but genuinely liked his music. And I'm with you, Oz. I'm like, I don't want to do anything that's going to put money in his pocket, but at the same time, he had good stuff, and it's so I'm kind of torn on it along with you. What's okay, what's not? Where do we go from here?
Throw it all away. None of it is worth keeping. It's poisonous. Throw it away.
Poison.
I mean, that's a part of a broader conversation about separating artists from their personal activities.
Dude, are we still gonna watch the Cosby Show?
Right.
It's poisoned.
Poison.
He's ruined the show.
I still love the Cosby Show. I'm sorry.
I own every episode. I own every episode on DVD.
I grew up watching the Cosby Show. I love the Cosby Show.
Still talking. I got it for Christmas one year. And it sucks that I have like all 8 or 9 seasons in a commemorative case. I'm not watching that shit.
Well, if you haven't seen him on the HBO special, it's one of the funniest freaking stand-ups you will ever hear.
Who are you talking about?
Life.
Who are you talking about?
Cosby.
Okay, just checking.
See, I don't, okay. So going back to what you said about like this throwing it out, like I'm torn about it, and the reason being is that like when I think of like specifically Aura, because I have different thoughts about Cosby, but when I'm thinking about R. Kelly, like I kind of knew some of the stuff that was going on, because like I said, like he from the south side of Chicago, I'm from the south side of Chicago. A lot of people who were familiar with him even being here knew he spent time at the at Kenwood High School, and and would what I'm saying, and would pick up on girls. Like this is not new information. I knew. I was in high school at the time, and a fellow student we were in the same class, met him, and we were only 16 at the time, and he was trying to push up on her and asked her for her number, and he knew she was in high school. She had on her fucking uniform, because we went to all girls school, and he had his house was in a suburb that wasn't too far from where our high school was, so. People already had inklings of like his behavior, and also and people who would try to like get with him as far as like working with him musically. I knew a few people who because like I did music that worked with him and got their stuff lifted, and he passed off as theirs. You know what I'm saying? And so like it's a catch-22 only because like people who've been in this area kind of knew about like what he did. So like when he was like brought to trial, most of us was like, okay, you finally caught up with this motherfucker, because we kind of knew already. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, but then again, I had 12 play when I was in high school. You know what I'm saying? I had the Chocolate Factory. Because I like those songs. Like now, since I would say this, since like he was on trial the first time, because of that the young lady who he peed on and shit, I kind of didn't listen to him any longer. And only reason being is because like, and especially like when people when they played the tape and it was blatantly him, but he said it wasn't him, it wasn't me. I was like,
that's some shit right there.
And you believed him. See,
I'm like, can we stop trying to save black men that have money? Same shit with OJ. Same shit with what's his face? I can't even think right now. Like that's the most
OJ
infuriating thing.
Yeah, he did. But here's the thing. I mean, but like I and here's the thing. Even with that, like I'm down for my brothers, and they know it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm down for my brothers, and I really believe that we need to stick together, because like we're in.
Damn, really?
White man wasn't having
that was a mic drop.
White man said, nope.
Eddie,
Honey, your
I still
video
own
disconnected.
StreamYards.
Eddie was like, "Fuck that noise."
Damn,
I have
Eddie,
no
why-
control over
Eddie,
anything
Eddie,
here.
stop messing with my
Cynthia
tech,
just got
Eddie.
smited.
Really, I
Eddie,
would ask,
control your God, please.
I would ask, I would ask for those that, and Mike, you were the most like
Cynthia got rebuked.
you were
I
the most
did.
like
I totally got rebuked. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, I don't know what is going on with this whole thing. I probably just need to restart this whole damn shit.
That's okay.
But what I was saying was that, like, you know, even with all of that, like, yes, I'm down for my brothers, and you know, and I would do just about anything ethical for them. But you know, people who are but like, you know, but when you blatantly break the law, when you blatantly showing bad taste, you blatantly showing bad behavior, I mean, no, you should not get curved. You should not, there should be no apologist for you for that. And that's why I'm just like, yes, I know Ara, hey, I get that he was abused. I get all that, but you know, that does not excuse your behavior for what you did. You did the crime, you gotta do the time, my brother. All right.
Amen.
real quick, Mikey,
Real
did you stop listening and throw out Michael Jackson albums?
He never got convicted of it.
Yeah, I was just looking that up.
Dig a little deeper.
But he paid a bunch of people off.
Okay.
Come on now.
Okay.
He didn't do it.
How you know, Eddie?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
But that's public record.
Where the evidence,
No.
Eddie?
No, yeah, he admitted it. That's
He,
when you start paying people off with
Listen
accusations.
to
I'm
listen
sorry.
no,
I'm
no,
gonna
no,
think
no,
you
no,
were
Eddie,
guilty.
I
Listen
have
to
to
this,
disagree with that. I gotta
No, wait a
disagree.
minute. Hold on. Now,
Go
let me
ahead,
tell
go
you
ahead, go
something.
ahead.
I was growing up, I was the biggest Michael Jackson fan in the world. I loved that man, everything that he did. And when I found out that he started paying people off, I was like, no, he didn't. Why did he do that? Because it's almost, even if he's not guilty, it's almost like an admittance of guilt.
It's almost like that's not true. That's what it's almost like. You can't just, it's almost, and just like throw that on somebody. Like, look into the
No, bro. When you try to make a problem go away, there's a reason you're trying to make the problem go away. I'm sorry. I would love to stand up for him if I could.
Just look into it.
I just can't.
I will stand up for Michael, Mikey.
Just look into the fucking people who sued him. And then, like you said, it doesn't matter because whether he goes,
in the mirror.
that's cool. Sing right over the fucking top of me, Eddie. I appreciate that, man.
We can
Okay, I'm reclaiming my time.
We can get a whole chorus going.
We could.
Asking him to change.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. That's it. Y'all walling out. It was great. It was good. We will, you know what? Obviously.
I still do like some Michael Jackson, though. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Okay, y'all. We signed Nicholas. You are late. The show is over. Thank you. Hi, Pasta Mike. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for showing up to the end.
Thank
end,
you for
Pasta
coming.
Mike.
Yeah, you can come on next week and argue that your favorite female rapper didn't get talked about.
Please do.
Whoa.
Because apparently that's what we do.
Wait a minute. We're gonna talk
No,
about
we-
one of the best female rappers of
Oh,
all
hold
time.
We're gonna
Gangsta
wait.
Boo.
We're gonna wait till the last minute to start talking shit.
No, Gangsta Boo. We're gonna talk about Gangsta Boo next
What
time.
you talking about?
No, Justin ain't talk shit to me all night. Now we getting ready to go.
Yeah, we gotta stop this. We gotta go.
Let's get it.
Y'all just
I'll
met.
see y'all.
I
I'll see
can't
y'all
battle
in
rap.
Discord.
I can't battle rap.
I'll see y'all in
Any-
Discord.
Let me hold on. You ain't. Hello, I'm the producer of this show. You ain't rapping my
You better
own show.
produce harder
Yes,
then.
you are. Yes, you
You
are.
know what?
Ooh.
You
Yeah.
Point that at him. I didn't say that. Point it at him.
I
You better
did.
come back because I know you
Mm.
didn't go there.
Yeah, I don't know what she was talking
Oh,
about.
Just because you have other controls, sir.
She bounced out and bounced back in like Hollywood Square.
No, because he
put
can
her in the
control it
back.
too. God, and you know what? Full screen, Jenna. Anyway,
Oh,
Reclaiming
no.
her
announcement.
She just went full
It's-
Maxine Waters on us.
It's
Okay.
Brenna part 2.
I am reclaiming my time.
She's been hanging out with Brenna too much.
I have announcements because I'm gonna close out this crazy ass bitch of a show. This is fun. Thank you all panelists. You are welcome back because obviously we're gonna have part 3. And then the loving words of God damn it, Andrew, I can't even find the title of your part 3 right now. It was freaking good.
The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, part 3.
There you go. Thank you. As far as I'm trying to scroll up and find it, but I can't find it. So that's okay. Next week, veterans, anyone that's a veteran out there, Veterans Day show next week, same time, same place. Justin's going to be there. Jason, unfortunately, had to dip out early. He wasn't feeling well. He had a long day, but he will be back next week. Okay, so tune into that. Also, folks, we're running a special series on parenting without religion, starting out with a pre-recorded show we're going to do over the weekend. Special guest is going to be Bree. Yes. You named it this, so don't even trip right now. You named it that. So I appreciate it.
I'm tripping.
Thank you, Mikey. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Oz. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, audience. This was fun. Yeah,
we'll schedule the rap battles between Bar
and Oz.
I know, and Oz.
Part 85.
Oz DM'd me because he has a mix of, that he wanted. Thank you, Dancher. That's part 3. That's the title of the part 3. Literally, it will be. The true
and we're gonna make a video mix of all the intros.
The next show is gonna be all about women hip hop artists.
Boom. I love it. Let's do it.
All 3 of them.
What?
Good Lord.
I was thinking it and you said it.
The best way for people to bring their information forward is to be wrong and let them prove you wrong.
I mean, that's it. And we can do that in the Discord.
Yeah. So
mods, please link the Discord in the chat.
If I say that, then Cynthia's gonna rant for like 2 hours. It's gonna be great.
And all types of F-bombs will be thrown.
There it is.
All of them.
That's all you got.
Yeah.
Okay. Y'all coming back, right? Part 3? Y'all coming back? All right.
Anytime I go on a show and somebody says y'all, I'm coming back.
We're also going to email you some barbecue as well. Eddie.
That's what I'm talking about.
And
some dry rub ribs.
And some Gus's chicken.
Oh my God, man! I have missed since I haven't been in Memphis. I have missed Gus's chicken.
And we're gonna email
Cynthia.
Mikey.
See, she knows all about it, man.
We're gonna email Mikey a link to Dolomite.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
And Shaft, the
original.
Yeah, and might as well put in Superfly with that as well.
Superfly,
and then round that up with the Mac, because every Black person needs to watch the Mac.
Yeah, that's too. I don't have these requirements, so Mikey.
Why? Because privilege.
I wish I could just love myself and be okay with that, but I guess that's not enough.
Nope.
I have to watch these fucking old ass fucking ridiculous movies.
Yeah, you
made on a fucking Polaroid.
You got to get some culture up in you, Mikey.
Fucking redub over. Even though it's in the same
you need some culture, Mikey.
You can rail against it all you want, 90s baby. But here's the thing.
Not a 90s baby. I was an 80s
okay, you're
baby.
87. That doesn't even count.
Well, you were born in the 80s, which means you grew up in the 90s. So go somewhere.
Okay.
Not a haterade. Haterade.
No, I'm gonna respect my elders.
That's right. You better. God damn it.
I just let them finish.
You better get off her hip hop lawn.
Right.
Oh God. Okay.
Stop not watching my movies, you cloud.
Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn. Eddie's shaking his cane at the hip hop clouds, and there's Cynthia yelling at kids to not walk in her fucking.
I'm not that damn old. Come on,
Medea grass.
Hey, especially after I cut it and edged it, you better get the fuck off my grass.
I've lost control.
You gotta edit this, Jenna, and take that whole last part out.
I will not. Man. I will take all of this last part and make it its own clip. That's all I'm going to do. Good night, everyone.